Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. Guess what time it is? Saturday morning blast off. Welcome everybody. Welcome and sorry to see you go, Viking bitch. You're under the weather. I just saw that. So let me get a little bit of business out of the way first. If you like what you see here, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. You can hit the dislike button. I just asked you down below in the comment section. Tell me what it is you don't like. Give me some constructive criticism, some feedback. Also, if you want to see when I'm going to be on live again next, you go back down there and hit the bell. The bell is a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you when I'm on. You can go in the bell settings, get as many or as little notifications as you want. If you want to see what my schedule is, you can go to suspendedfanimation.com. I've got my schedule up there. I've also got it up on my Facebook page as well. I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram, and I also have a Patreon page, but I don't have any tiers set up yet on the Patreon page. So, with that said, welcome everyone. Lots and lots of news today. A lot of news today. So, yeah, it's normally a lot of dudes in here, Joe. So that's happens. So not too bad. But let's see what we got. I'm gonna do some of the minor news before as people trickle in, all that kind of stuff. James Gunn actually tweeted out his cast list for Suicide Squad 2 yesterday, and it's a doozy. It's quite a long list of people, quite honestly. And let me see what I got here. Yeah. Damn, that's all I can say. Just a huge list of people. And as he put it, don't get too attached, is what he said, and then had their names up here. So I'm just reading off this list that he's got. David Dastmalchian, John Cena, Jai Courtney is returning, Joaquin Cosio, Nathan Fillion, which he's going to die early. He's going to be having a little role most likely. Joel Kinnaman's returning, Mei Ling Ing, Flula Borg, Sean Gunn, of course, is coming in. Juan Diego Botto, Storm Reed, Pete Davidson, who's supposedly having just a cameo. Taika Waititi is actually going to be in there as well. Alice Braga, Steve Agee, who's voicing King Shark. Tanashi Kajesi, I'm going to murder these names. I already know it. Daniela Melchior. I've heard it pronounced that way before. Peter Capaldi, of course, who shaved his head for whatever prosthetics he's got on for the role. Julio Ruiz, Jennifer Holland, Viola Davis, Idris Elba. Viola Davis, of course, returning. Margot Robbie, who's also returning. And finally, Michael Rooker. That's who we've got coming into Suicide Squad 2. Like I said, one hell of a big cast on this. And he's saying, and Wilford Brimley, exactly, HR. And as themselves, the kitchen sink. So lots and lots of people. Is he falling? Oh no. I don't know what's going on there, Joe. The spacemen do whatever they want at this point. They've taken over. Peppers let them go and do whatever they're doing. Hey, Morks, how's it going? So yeah, this Suicide Squad 2 is going to be a really, really huge deal. I think it's going to be the shot in the arm that DC actually needs at this point, because Shazam was great, but they need someone that can actually pull all their shit together at some point in time and make something good. Aquaman was an okay movie. Yes, it made $1 billion, but it was just an okay movie. If you go back and watch it, it's not something that I went out and bought. I didn't buy it on DVD. I did not. I bought Shazam because Shazam was actually a good movie. But yeah, Joker is not really it's not a DC movie. Caleb, I really don't look at that as being a DC movie. It's a Martin Scorsese movie that has Joker makeup on it. That's all it is. ISIS movie next. You're talking about the old 70s live action character, maybe. No Will Smith. No Will Smith in this one, Morks. He's off doing Gemini Man or something like that, or I can't remember what he's doing. Essentially, no one wanted him back, Morks. He was not the best thing out of that movie. The only thing, Margot Robbie was the best thing out of that movie. Hate to say it. But yeah. You have both movies on DVD, Joe? Yeah, see, Aquaman, I've watched it on HBO. I've seen it when it comes on, that kind of thing. I just have it on as background noise, but it's not anything that grabs me. It's got some good visuals to it in some places. Other places, it's really, really messy and just busy for busy sake, and you can't tell what's going on. The human eye can't track more than, I forget what they said. It's something like 200 moving things, something like that. And the only reason why I know this is because when Michael Bay was doing the first Transformer movie, when they had the Autobots transforming, they had, I forget what they said, something like 3,000, 4,000 moving parts in the Autobots in the animation. And it was so busy looking that people just looked away from the screen. And they found out there was a tolerance level that people could take on moving parts and what the brain can actually parse out and focus on. And so they brought it down from what was it? It was something ridiculous. I think actually it was like 10,000 if I remember correctly, and they brought it down to something like 2,000 moving parts, which is weird. It's still busy looking, but it's really quick. Yeah, well, they have her on Legends of Tomorrow now. Penn, Isis. They're not calling her that, of course, because that name is connected now with a terrorist organization. So, yeah. And being that she's of Middle Eastern descent on the show, I think that would be kind of a bad thing. Yeah. Yeah. Netflix had another doozy on their service, the Island. Yeah, I saw I was actually looking at that last night. So I'm a little bit late this morning because I ended up finally watching Glow, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling, the series that is on Netflix. I've had it in my queue for the longest time. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give the first episode a try. It's only like 40 minutes long. 7 episodes later, I'm like, I really need to get to bed because if I don't get to bed, I'm not gonna get up in time. And Glow is fucking awesome. That's all I can say. If you guys have not watched Glow, go and watch it. It's it's one of those things. Like I said, I had it in my queue for the longest time. I heard it was awesome. Just didn't have any time to watch it, and finally I'm like, I can watch a 40-minute episode. That's fine. And then just got hooked. Boom, I'm in. And Mark Maron. Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. Exactly. So it is a Penn. So what this is about, it's a series based on them starting up the Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. And it focuses mainly on an actress who's kind of down on her luck and her getting into this. And Mark Maron as the director of the TV show. And he's just a schlock director. He directs a lot of really bad soft porn sci-fi movies, I guess you could say. And he does a lot of drugs. And yeah, it's set in the 80s. Actually, it's set in the 80s. Really damn good. That's all I can say. Yeah, really. I'm not gonna do a review of it though, Joe. It's I could do is it worth my time? But I mean, it's not a genre. It is, but it isn't at the same time. It's kind of a weird thing. So yeah, I could do it here. That's not a problem because I'm just talking about stuff that I'm watching and stuff like that. That's easy. I can't do an entire segment on it though. That's the whole thing. So let's see what else I got here. We'll start off with the big one here. So the rumor is that Hayden Christensen is going to be in episode 9 as a Force ghost because he keeps popping up in a lot of different conventions with Ian McDermott, the guy who plays the Emperor in episode 9. And it's kind of funny because Disney reportedly demanded the cancellation of a Star Wars panel because the two were spending too much damn time together. They kept popping up at the same conventions together repeatedly. And so this is at Salt Lake, the FanX Expo, I guess you could say, or FanX convention in Salt Lake. And there was a last minute cancellation because Ian McDermott and Hayden Christensen were going to be in the same panel. And supposedly Disney called and said, nope, cancel that shit right now. And there's no confirmation that Christensen has been returning as Anakin Skywalker, but we know that Force ghosts do play a part in this. So, they say the rumor is that Disney threatened legal action if the convention continued with the panel out of fear of spoilers, which is leading people to believe Christensen will be showing up as a Force ghost in the new movie. So, take that what you will. But it's Jar Jar Abrams, so I'm fairly sure that's what they're going to be doing. It's not that, it's not rocket science, quite honestly. I didn't hate him in Jumper either, tell you the truth, Penn. It's just the script was really bad. Doug Liman did what he could with that script, quite honestly. And that's Doug Liman. And I thought it was kind of funny that Kristen Stewart's in the very end of it. She plays his sister, or his half sister, if you will. But she's at the very, very end of that movie. Is it worth anybody's time? Actually, Hayden Christensen is a good actor. I've seen him in other stuff and he actually can act. It's not his fault that Lucas just does not know how to direct. He really doesn't. He can set scenes up, he can write some stuff, like, he can create worlds. He cannot do dialogue and he cannot direct people. Because Natalie Portman, look at Natalie Portman. She's won an Oscar. She's gone off to do a whole bunch of stuff. And in that movie, she sucked pretty bad in the trilogies, the original trilogy, or not the original, the episodes 1 through 3. Still to this day, my favorite line is that whole, episode 2 with I feel pain. Don't you feel pain? And I raised my hand in the theater and said, I do. And I had about like 3 or 4 rows just start laughing. Yeah, because it was painful to sit through. Yeah. I hate sand. I don't like sand. Disney is the dark side of the Force. It really is. It really is the dark side. But you know what? We're still paying them money because they're doing a lot of fucking Marvel movies and they're doing them well. Ejar says, I'm not evil. I'm just written that way. No, it's really bad writing. It really is. If you ever want to take a class on how not to write a script, just watch episodes 1 through 3. Lucas did not have any people editing his work. He did not have anybody reviewing his work that wasn't being paid by him. So, of course, he was getting the, yes, sir, that's great, sir. That's fantastic, sir. That's original. That's awesome. Go forward with it, sir. Instead of going, what the fuck are you writing? Yeah. I've blocked out 90% of that movie and the rest since the original trilogy. Yeah, I know. Penn. A lot of us have. And yeah, the movies that have come after it, the Jar Jar and Rianne movies that have come after them, they're honestly, they're crap. I've seen them both once, and that was it. I don't need to see them again. Yeah, exactly, Stanley. The original Star Wars did need to be rescued in editing because he didn't know what he was doing. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. That's all I can say on that one. So what else do we have going on here? This is kind of interesting since we were talking about Disney and Marvel. Kevin Feige was given an award for excuse me. What was the award for here? It was the Stan Lee Award for world building or something like that. And he wasn't able to attend, of course, to accept the award, but he filmed something for it and then said, "Hey, by the way, this has never been seen before, but we shot, or Jon Favreau shot, an alternate post-credit scene for Iron Man in 2008. And in the alternate scene, Tony Stark talks about the Avengers Initiative, right? And then he says, it was at the Saturn Awards, excuse me. He says, as if gamma accidents, radioactive bug bites, and assorted mutants weren't enough, I have to deal with a spoiled brat who doesn't play well with others and wants to keep all his toys to himself. That was in the alternate version of this. So yes, Kevin Feige and Jon Favreau had added in Spider-Man and mutants in that, because Kevin Feige actually came as a producer from the original X-Men movies, and he still had a hand in that for, to some extent, and wanted to bring those into the Marvel universe. Of course, that wasn't going to happen with Fox. And Sam Raimi at the time had just been done with Spider-Man 3, and he was going to start working on Spider-Man 4 supposedly. So that's why they kind of put this in there, trying to think if they were going to be able to shoehorn in both the mutants and Spider-Man into the Marvel universe, but it didn't happen. No, HR, he got an award for world building, for exceptional world building, which he has done, quite honestly. If you look at the MCU, I mean, come on, it's only 11 years, 22 movies, and you put together a world that is now going to be a Disney theme park, hotel. I think there's a cruise ship line too, all kinds of stuff that's going on. He owns the mutants now. It's reverted back to Disney because Disney bought Fox. Fox originally owned them, and now Disney owns them now. So Kevin Feige is working on that right now. Sony only owns Spider-Man. Excuse me, Superman. Sony only owns Spider-Man and the 900 some odd characters that are associated with Spider-Man. I'm not kidding you. There are 900 some odd characters that are associated with it. So, yeah, exactly. A cruise ship in the shape of a Star Destroyer. Well, that Star Wars hotel is supposedly supposed to be like being on board a spaceship where you really don't have to leave. Hey, Andrej. So they can do the Secret Wars without Spider. Yeah, they can do the Secret Wars without Spider-Man. You really don't need Spider-Man to do Secret Wars. Quite honestly, you don't need Spider-Man for any of this stuff. It'd be nice to have them, but you really don't need. Well, you won't be able to do Venom either. I mean, or the symbiote or anything like that. Which again, that's no great loss. It really isn't. Everyone thinks, oh, Spider-Man's out of the MCU. Oh my God, no. Sony shot themselves in the foot, and they said, we don't need Kevin Feige. We don't need Marvel. That was the stupidest move they could have made. Yeah. As soon as Tom Holland's contract is up as Spider-Man, you watch, he is going to go straight back over to Marvel, and they're going to recast him as somebody else. I don't know what, but they're going to recast him into the Marvel universe as someone else. And they're just basically going to give Sony a big middle finger. Yeah. Which is a shame, because, I mean, they were grooming Peter Parker to basically take over Tony Stark's spot. He was supposed to be the new Tony Stark. And yeah, now that's not going to happen. There were so many different potentials for that, so many different avenues they could have gone with it, and Sony just fucked themselves over. So, what else do I have? Yes. So Hailee Stenfield of Bumblebee fame has been offered, and I believe she's accepted, the role of Kate Bishop in the Disney Plus Hawkeye series. You know what? I never saw Bumblebee, to tell you the truth. I heard it's good. I remember seeing her in something else, which I can't remember what it is at the moment. Pitch Perfect. That's what it was. Pitch Perfect 2 and 3, I think it was, where she just has a minor role in either of those. And I'm like, okay. Does she really? I don't know. I honestly don't know the character Kate Bishop uh, all that well. That was when I stopped collecting comics, quite frankly, when she came out. So I'm not really all that familiar with that. No, I'm not reviewing Pitch Perfect, Joe. Or 2 or 3. Not happening. I don't need you. I don't need anyone. Just this lamp, this chair, this paddle with the rubber ball. Ooh, I need that. Yeah. Yeah, let's review The Jerk. How about that? I'll review The Jerk. Most of the kids don't even know what the hell that is anymore. Yeah. That's an awesome movie. I have that on DVD as well, someplace around here. I believe it's in double feature with Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid. Friends of Carlotta. Oh man, if you've never seen Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid, that is one great repurposing of a movie. Or movies, I should say. Yeah. Steve Martin is a genius. I mean, he really is. He's a member of Mensa. I forget what they said his IQ is. He's in the 140s or the 150 range. I can't remember what it is. And it's a shame we don't see anything from him anymore. He disappeared. Bowfinger was, I think, his last hurrah. Quite frank. Well, I mean, he had the Shop Girl and stuff like that too, but like the last big thing that he did. Yeah. Speaking of comebacks, that's the person I would love to see come back and do something. I mean, I know Eddie Murphy's doing My Name is Dolomite on Netflix, which looks awesome. But I would love to see, Steve Martin come back and do something. He's a genius. Like I said, he's actually pretty damn funny. He's in the realm of, actually, he's above. I hate to say this to you, Bill Murray fans, but yeah, he actually, because he writes his own stuff. Um, I would love to see him write something again. I really would. But who knows? No, not Bill Murray. Oh, this is actually kind of funny. This popped up and disappeared just as quickly. So the CW had posted a trailer on YouTube, which is no longer there. The trailer has now been made private. On September 15th, it's a trailer for something called Waragami. And it's about a guy that fights using paper. Yeah, a guy that fights using paper. And essentially, it's martial arts with paper. And it's supposed to be an entire series about this. I'm sitting there and I was kind of watching it and I started going, so can anything be, can I pitch anything to CW now and get it made into a series? Because that's pretty much what it's looking like right now, is that they're just, digging up bottom of the barrel kind of thing. And yeah, I have the link sitting on my Facebook page. If you go there and take a look, you can take a look for Waragami. No, it's going to be Condiment Man, Ejar. That's going to be the next DC universe series. The CW DC series is Condiment Man and how he got. It's going to be a serious look at how Condiment Man became Condiment Man. They're going to bring in Francis Ford Coppola. He is going to produce, and it's going to be a 5-star production. It's going to be nominated for all kinds of awards. He relishes fighting crime. Well, no, he's a villain, Ejar, since if Joker hits it really big, like they said, that's going to be the next big movie is Condiment Man. You can watch that one. They can, repurpose some other 70s movie. Maybe they can repurpose, because what was it? So Joker is repurposing like Falling Down, Dog Day Afternoon, Broken White Man Goes Crazy genre. That's pretty much what Joker movie is, and it just has some clown makeup slapped onto it. So I believe the next one should be, what's an old tired genre that Scorsese and all of them have done? It's gonna be a mafia thing, where yeah, he wanted to get in on the mafia. He couldn't because they all laughed at him because he was not uh, some ethnicity or whatever, so he couldn't get in. And so he decided to put on a condiment suit and fight against the mafia, but also take over the mafia at the same time. There we go. I just wrote your next movie for you, Warner Brothers. Give me $1 million. So I checked the mail and got my second prize, Boys Coin. Nice, Ed. You're welcome. I'm glad that came through. I was kind of wondering about that, if it had shown up yet or not. I didn't have a tracking number on that one. And I was kind of sure it was going to make it, but, wasn't sure. Excuse me. Hang on. I think my chai is getting to me there. Broken White Man is a new supervillain that sues Batman for movie rights. Nice. Yeah. So what else do I have? J.J. Abrams' production company, Bad Robot, has signed a $250 million deal with WarnerMedia to develop TV series, movies, games, and digital content for them. It can go as high as $500 million. So supposedly, as of early as last week, before this was actually mentioned, Bad Robot was in talks with Apple for $500 million. The only reason why they didn't go with Apple, well, two things. Apple wanted exclusive control of Abrams so that Bad Robot could not be working on anything like Star Wars, Star Trek, anything else, unless it was for Apple only. They wanted control of that. And then Apple TV rolled out this week. And as soon as Apple TV Plus rolled out, and Jar Jar saw how bad that was, he was like, fuck that, and went over to WarnerMedia. Yeah. I will be talking about Apple TV Plus here in a moment too, because damn, that's all I can say. When you have $40 billion that you can burn, $40 billion that you can burn because, you've been, sequestering your money overseas instead of bringing it into the United States, even though you're a US company and not getting taxed for it or anything like that. And you start off a new streaming service with a shitty of a service as let's get into it. Why not? So Apple TV Plus released their programming details. And here's what's going to be available at launch. The Morning Show, a cutthroat drama about an executive produced by God, I can barely speak. Reese Witherspoon and Jennifer Aniston, starring Steve Carell, explores the world of morning news and the ego. Yeah, I'll pass on that one. Dickinson, darkly comedic coming-of-age story, explores the constraints of society, gender, and family through the lens of rebellious young poet Emily Dickinson. Yeah, I'll pass on that one too. For All Mankind, a new series from Ronald D. Moore imagines what would have happened if the global space race never ended and the space program remained the cultural centerpiece of America's hopes and dreams. Interesting premise, but Ronald Moore hasn't had anything going big for him since Battlestar Galactica. Not really needing to sign up for another streaming service just for that. Helpsters, A new children's series from the makers of Sesame Street. Nope, can stay away from that one. Snoopy in Space. That kind of just, tells you what it is right there. Not going to happen. Ghost Rider, a reinvention of the beloved original series. It follows 4 kids who are brought together by mysterious ghosts in a neighborhood bookstore who must team up to release fictional characters from works of literature. I'm sorry, I fell asleep during that one. The Elephant Queen, acclaimed documentary film and cinematic love letter to a species on the verge of extinction. No. Follows a matriarch elephant. Oprah Winfrey. Winfrey joins the world's most compelling authors in conversation as she builds a vibrant. Sorry, I fell asleep during that one too. That should be a YouTube, like a free YouTube channel thing, because no one wants to watch that shit. And then finally, the one that everyone was kind of pinning their hopes on, it was called C. They released the trailer for this, and it's the epic drama starring Jason Momoa and Alfre Woodward. Is set 600 years in the future after a virus has decimated humankind and rendered the remaining population blind. When all humanity has lost the sense of sight, humans must adapt and find new ways to survive. So the leader of one clan has twins who supposedly can see. How they know these twins can see is beyond me. How they're all wearing matching outfits is beyond me. Yeah, it's really fucking stupid, and it's really bad dialogue too. I mean, horrendously bad dialogue. Almost like whoever was writing this story didn't have any vision when they were talking about it and writing it. Yeah. I'll be here all week, by the way. Tip your waitresses. Yeah, and that's on November 1st is when this all hits, unfortunately. Yeah, and supposedly because these these twins are born with sight, all the 2 tribes that are there decide to fight for some reason for control of the twins. Why? No, yeah, yeah. No one knows. No one really knows. So save your money. Stay away from that whole thing. Hey, Movie Fanobi. Your better half isn't here either. She's sick. So just so you know. Yeah, The Blind Leading the Blind movie. It just looks really horribly bad. Let's make a post-apocalyptic series where everyone is blind. Yeah, I know, Stanley. It's really dumb. Are these weird titles from a new version of VHS? Probably. Oh, VHF. Got it. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything good about this, to tell you the truth. I'm really not. And considering that Disney Plus has already released in the Netherlands, so Disney Plus just released in the Netherlands, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, for free up until they do the worldwide release in November. And people are saying it's like heroin. One person literally said it's like heroin. Because of all the content that's involved in Disney Plus right now. I talked shit about Disney Plus when it first started. I really did. And yes, I signed on for the 3-year, reduced price thing and all that stuff. So I have a feeling Disney Plus is going to kill a lot of streaming services in their cribs when it happens. Yeah, Disney got the big bad mouse, but the content and price is too good to pass up. Yeah. But they only have old shit now. How can it be like heroin? I don't know, Stanley. That's the whole thing. I guess they're releasing stuff that hasn't seen the light of day in decades. I remember. I mean, okay, so back in the day, back in the old days when they had the Disney Channel when it first came out on cable, they used to play all the old stuff like stuff that would come out on in the 70s. They used to have on Sundays they would have the Walt Disney Hour, for it'd be during the right after the Muppet Show, right before the Muppet Show. I can't remember which one it was. And it was some good stuff. Walt Disney would come out. It was like old archive footage and all that stuff. So they would show old Mickey Mouse stuff. They would show clips of movies, all kinds of stuff kind of interspersed in. I'm pretty sure that's what they're doing for this. Again, in the 80s and the 90s, the Disney Channel was showing like old Zorro episodes. Just most of their content is actually still pretty damn good. Yeah, Steamboat Willie, Song of the South. They cut out some of the racist stuff from Song of the South, of course, and that they're putting on TV. Back in the old days, we had TVs that showed stuff, both in color. Yeah, we had both kinds, black and white and color. Mouseketeer, yes, they are doing the Mouseketeer Club stuff as well. Yes. Does Ghost Rider have Nicolas Cage making bad scripts on fire? That was actually pretty funny, Joe, I have to admit. Yeah. And he talks like Elvis when he does it. We gotta burn these scripts. We gotta burn these. Yeah. There's my Nicolas Cage impression for you. I will never do it again. What else I've got here? Let's see. So the Watchmen series on HBO just released a new trailer again. And I'm sitting here watching it and I'm going, this looks pretty messy. This really does look pretty messy. And I mean, granted, it could have been the editing on the trailer itself, but as I'm sitting there watching the trailer and I'm looking at what the story is, I'm trying to think to myself, I'm like, is this going to be coherent or not? Because it's not looking that way, quite honestly. I get where they're going with it. They're kind of trying to infuse current politics in with this superhero stuff. I can already see what Damon Linden's doing just in the trailer alone. And I'm like, okay, so what you're trying to do is you're trying to inject an analogy for the Ku Klux Klan and racism along with superheroes. And I don't know if that's going to work. I mean, yeah, it was just kind of a weird thing. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, I'm going to cover it. I'll cover it and see what it's like. Yeah, Cordell Fennerval. That's what Nicolas Cage sounds like now. He sounds like Elvis. If you watch any of his movies, I was just watching what was Gone in 60 Seconds, and I think that's where he started the Elvis conversion. Yeah. In Germany, burning books is kind of out of fashion. In some parts, Stanley, not in all parts. Nicolas Cage making bad decisions since 1982. I think he made bad decisions before that too. But, that's what nepotism does for you. It lets you work past those bad decisions and skate right past them. Yeah, part of the Coppola family of people. So going back to that Apple TV Plus thing, Disney CEO Bob Iger resigned from the Apple board because, he's the head of Disney. Remember Disney and Apple did have a relationship there for a little while. So Pixar was actually owned by Apple at one point in time. And the distribution with Disney, the deal was that that Disney got some part of Pixar. Then Pixar moved over completely to Disney. And Bob Iger still sat on the board of Apple because that was part of the deal with the Pixar thing. So now that they are having their streaming services, their own streaming services, and the war is about to begin, that's why Apple TV Plus starts on November 1st and Disney Plus starts on November 12th, because Apple TV Plus decided that they wanted to jump ahead of Disney Plus. And that's why Disney Plus decided to release their content early in the Netherlands. Not here, but in the Netherlands. Yeah, it's all kinds of shit show at this point. Yes, Jobs was on the board of Disney. Correct, Stanley. They traded that kind of stuff. No, Penn, he did not get rich off of making those bad decisions. He actually squandered a lot of his money and is still paying it back to the IRS. That's why he's doing all kinds of really shitty movies. Yeah. So yeah, so the streaming wars, November is when the streaming wars begin officially. They have already set up their lines of Coke and are standing behind them with straws at the ready. Some with tubes up their ass already too, with interns getting ready to blow up their ass, and the rest, of course, is we'll see what happens. Yeah. It's going to be interesting times. That's all I can say. Interesting times. Yeah. All right. Let me see what else I got here. This was kind of interesting. So tomorrow night, there's going to be a short film that appears on FX. I don't know what time because they haven't said, but it's going to be a new Jurassic World short film called Battle at Big Rock. I guess it's like an hour long, an hour and a half long, something like that. But yeah, it's a brand new Jurassic World short film called Battle at Big Rock, and it's premiering on FX tomorrow night. Don't know why, but yeah, that's what's happening. This got tweeted out by the director, Colin Trevorrow, who, of course, who did Jurassic World, and yeah, I'm actually looking at the tweet right now, and he's just saying Sunday, September 15th on FX. But no one knows what time. No one has said what time. I don't know if anyone really cares about that, to tell you the truth, because it's Jurassic World. Yeah. I like looking at some D+. Oh, you're talking about a channel. Yeah. It's not going to be 3:46 a.m. EJAR. It's probably going to be like 7 p.m. or something like that. Stanley tweeted, there are too many services. The high seas become more interesting again. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, Stanley. Netflix is going to have to drop their prices, is what's going to have to happen. Netflix is severely going to have to drop their prices. Otherwise, they're going to lose a lot of people. A lot of people. I don't have Hulu anymore. Don't need Hulu. It's just not worth it. And yes, I am paying for, DC Universe. I already paid upfront for the Disney Plus, so that I figured is already gone and done, and that's there for 3 years. Yeah, and I'm thinking about dropping Netflix, to tell you the truth, because it's just honestly not worth it. I can binge Glow and get done with it, and that's fine. But quite frankly, they keep putting out a lot of crap. There's a few things here and there that they put in. I have Amazon Prime. Yeah, I have Amazon Prime mainly for the shipping stuff. So that just kind of gets thrown in automatically. And they don't have as much content as they say they do, Cordell Fennable. They really don't. They like to say they do, but I've searched for stuff and I'm like, yeah, you don't have this, you don't have that, you don't have this. Yeah. And the stuff they do have, I'm like, nah, I'm not interested. Yeah. Don't mention ship. Oh, sorry, Pen. I'm talking about package shipping, not relation shipping. In Europe, a lot of AMC and USA stuff is on Amazon Prime. Ah, there you go. They have a lot of content if you're 6. Yeah. Yeah, they have a lot of kids shows on there. The only thing I have to say that Amazon Prime does have that is cool that they have is the old Prisoner series. That was actually kind of cool. But yeah, I'm otherwise no, not interested. And YouTube TV is just laughable. They're actually going back to not being a paid service anymore. They're going to go back to ads. Yeah, you started watching Mr. Robot again. Tell me that you just started watching the last 3 episodes of season 2 and then just move on to season 3. Because yeah, season 2 is kind of a wash. Like I said, it's not worth it. You're in France, Cordell. When I first got it, when it first came out on DVD, I'm not a number. I'm a free man. That's a trippy show. And you know, the funny thing is, the theme song to The Prisoner has made its way into commercials lately. So it's on like all kinds of commercials, like Apple. There's a shit ton of commercials, and I kept noticing the same song. I'm like, that sounds really familiar. Where is it? And then I realized it's from The Prisoner, and they've actually remixed it into like an EMD kind of mix. Yeah. Stanley Tweedle says, I watched the last 5 of season 2 and noticed that I'd seen most of the episodes already. I'd forgotten most of it. Yeah, season 2 wasn't good. Season 3, though, is great. But is number 6 John Drake? Yeah, the cinematography in The Prisoner was groundbreaking. The whole series was groundbreaking. Talk about something that needs to be brought back and kind of redone by somebody who actually has a lot of vision. That would be like Noah Hawley. If you could bring Noah Hawley in to do The Prisoner and kind of update it for modern times, I think that would actually kick some serious ass, to tell you the truth. Oh, you're talking about Mr. Yeah, the cinematography is awesome, Mr. Robot as well. But yeah, I would love to see Noah Hawley take a shot at The Prisoner. That was always the theory that my father believed. Oh, number 6 was supposed to be so Danger Man. We didn't really get Danger Man over here at EJAR. Sorry. I know you're in LA, but then they a little bit north of me here, but yeah. I know of Danger Man, but I don't know Danger Man. Does that make sense? Yeah. Oh, what else do I have here? This one was kind of funny. So, Face Off is being remade by Paramount Pictures. Why? Because they seem intent on remaking their entire fucking library of movies lately. And I think it's probably having to do with, some statute limitations on what they have to pay out in royalties and things like that. So if they remake it, then they don't have to pay out the royalties because no one will watch the old ones. Because that's just the way humans are. They don't want to watch anything old. Just give us the new shit. Yeah. Secret Agent equals Danger Man. Oh, okay. Again, yeah, it was too old for me on that one. Sorry, EJAR. Yeah. Why are they remaking Face Off? Yes, and it is Nick Cage again. I'm seeing a theme here as well. Again, I think it's like I said, it's because I think that the royalty fees on it are coming due, that basically they're gonna have to pay more money on the royalty fees, and if they remake it, then they don't have to. Yeah. Completely off topic question. Has anyone of the Americans here? Yes, I've heard of Asterix, Stanley Tweedle. I know exactly what you're talking about. I know there was a animated version of that done as well, an animated movie and a series. Yeah. I can actually see the little dude in my head. He kind of looks like a very small little version of Thor, but he's got a gigantic nose, and yeah. That I know because, Comic Realm, all that stuff. Those comics made it over here as well. Speaking of really weird shit, that's what it seems like the news is just made up of right now. It's just a whole bunch of weird shit. So, The Institute, Stephen King's latest book, was released this week, and it's already been optioned as a limited TV series by David E. Kelly. Now, stop me if you heard this one. It's about a place where kids with special powers are held and experimented on. Yeah, that's what this thing is about. So obviously Stephen King has never gotten out of the house and does not have a TV or cable or anything like that, and basically has not seen any movies in the last 15, 20 years. But that is pretty much every single superhero movie known to mankind at the moment. Also, it just sounds like they're remaking The Darkest Mind from last year and the New Mutants, anything from the X-Men. You name it, you've got it. So, no. And shame on David E. Kelly for buying that and trying to distribute it as a new TV series, because it's not. It's been done before. And I hope whoever out there has something, a property that's so similar to whatever it is Stephen King wrote, sues the shit out of them. They're not going to win, but, hopefully they try. Yeah, I know. Stephen King not being original? Blasphemy. I can't read any of his stuff. His writing is atrocious, one, and his ideas are not new, quite honestly. They haven't been, even when he first started. Maybe Christine, maybe, it. That's about it. But I'm bumped. Yeah. What else is there? So Alan Martin, the co-creator of the comic book Tank Girl, says that Margot Robbie's production company has optioned the rights from MGM to make a new Tank Girl movie. But the original creators of the comic have not been contacted about it. And supposedly a director's already been hired as well. They don't have a script as of yet, but supposedly they already have a director attached to it. And they haven't contacted the original creators of the comic, but only optioned the rights from MGM for the movie, not knowing that I guess the comic is involved in it. It just seems kind of weird. I like Tank Girl a lot. It was a lot of fun. That's actually Naomi Watts' first movie too, by the way. I like Needful Things, the book at least. Yeah. Let's hope that movie doesn't tank. Oh, Stanley, you need to stand in the corner for that one. You stand in the corner that's inhabited by piranhas for 1 minute. Once you watch the original Outer Limits series, you'll never read Stephen King again. Exactly, Jar. Yeah. That is anything Twilight Zone, anything Outer Limits. Stephen King pretty much mined it. Yeah, Naomi Watts and Ice-T as a giant kangaroo. Yeah. And Malcolm McDowell is a bad guy because he was the bad guy in every 90s movie. Every single 90s movie was Malcolm McDowell as the bad guy. I don't know what it was. He really liked playing the bad guy at some point in time. Comic creators need to be smart about optioning their works to the studios. Yeah, Agent Future. Well, I don't know if that was. I mean, I'm fairly sure they did not sign their rights away to it. Usually, when you have a movie based on a comic property, unless you're really stupid like Marvel did with Spider-Man, you don't sign away the rights to it. Yeah. Mr. Roboto, no one remembers Lex, and for good reason. So I'm going to say no. Bestiality and water rights? Come on, it's a gold mine. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, some people love it. I know, Andrej. It's there's no way that they're gonna remake that. Like I said, no one talks about that series. You don't see it at conventions. There's no mention of it whatsoever. I know what Lex is. I've seen it. But yeah, there is no mention of it. You would think there'd be some mention of it even at Comic-Con. Like one small table with a hastily scrawled sign, but no, nothing. That's right, EJAR. It's the German soft porn sci-fi. You're right. It was strangely, it was very clean for soft porn. I was kind of surprised by that, EJAR. That was one of the things I was kind of surprised by because I remember watching it and thinking to myself, okay, this really doesn't qualify as sci-fi other than the sets. It's really bad sci-fi and it doesn't really qualify as porn either. It's kind of in that gray zone of both. And I'm trying to figure out what they're offering me here. Then I realized I was just kind of wasting my time and it was not worth my time. Let's just say. Have you heard anything new about Venture Brothers? No, I haven't heard anything, Joe. I know they're working on it. The guys have stopped doing any kind of notifications. There used to be a message board that Jackson Public would run, and he doesn't go on that anymore because I guess everyone found that out and started, looking at it. I know that they have what is it, 3 more seasons that they are greenlit for. Yeah, they're greenlit till season 10, and it usually takes them 2 years per season. So there you go. Hey, Kiddo Roan. Yeah, I thought it was porn without the nudity, Stanley Tweedle, and without the sex. It's been a while since I've seen it. One person here has chosen his name from Lex. Really? Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, it verges into porn territory every now and then, Joe. It really does. It was a giant space bug. It makes sense in context and very environmentally friendly. I'll take your word for it. Okay. So speaking of shit that doesn't need to be remade, Dark Shadows Reincarnation is in the works at the CW. Why? No one knows. It's just being remade. As the deadline title says here, with their pun in tongue firmly implanted in cheek, Dark Shadows gets new blood with sequel series in the works at the CW from writer Mark B. Perry. So, the reimagined show will be a modern day continuation of the strange, terrifying, and sexy saga of the Collins family of Collinsport, Maine, a mysterious, influential, publicity shy group hiding a ghastly secret. For the past 400 years, they've lived under a curse that bedevils their blue blood with every imaginable supernatural creature and horror. The intention here is to harken back to the original, which was so popular it actually saw, excuse me, Shakespearean actor John Freed become as popular in the teen magazines as the young heartthrobs at the moment for his role as the vampire Barnabas Collins. Barnabas Collins. Barnabas. That's what I get for reading. Hooked on Phonics worked for me. As a kid, Perry ran home from school to catch the Gothic soap. It aired each weekday after school, and for the past 2 years has been aggressively pursuing the rights. Said Perry, as a first generation fan, it's been a dream of mine to give Dark Shadows the Star Trek treatment since way back in the 80s when Next Generation was announced. So I'm beyond thrilled and humbled to be entrusted with this resurrection. And while I could never hope to fill Dan Curtis's very large shoes, I do aspire to carry them a little further into the future. I also want to reassure fans that the original of this version will treat the show's mythology with the same reverence given to Star Trek, but will also make the show accessible for audiences who are yet familiar with the macabre world of the Collinses. Oh, yeah. Um, no, no, no. That's all I can say. No, no. Yeah, the Dark Shadows movie was really boring. Age of Future, I agree with you. I tried watching that thing a couple times and couldn't do it. I love the original, but I don't want another remake. So supposedly it's not a remake, Penn. It's supposed to be a continuation of the TV series. Yeah. No, tongue in cheek, Joe. That's a saying. Yes. Oh, unless Johan Vasquez takes the Dark Shadow things over, no interest here. I have saying, I just want to say, don't continue it at all. Just let it die where it died. It, yeah, it was a product of its era. Yeah, I'm tired of remakes. I really am. I'm really tired of remakes. I understand studios are afraid to delve into something new because it's not tried, tested, true, anything like that. They don't think audiences will go for something new. And it's like, well, if you actually had a competent marketing team, you could do it. Um, if you have a good story, you can do it. You know, you don't need to do another, white, you know, broken white man goes crazy thing and just paint it with clown makeup and say that it's a new type of movie. It's not. It's the same old fucking 70s movie that we've seen for years now. Stop it. That's all I'm going to say. Just stop. Make something new. That's why when we have something original like a Legion, come out, or, a Doom Patrol come out, or a Mr. Robot or a Counterpart or anything like that. It actually excites us because it's something new. Yeah. No, it's not about the Joker. No. It's talking about Dark Shadows. Dark Shadows reincarnation or remembrance or whatever the hell it was called. Reincarnation. There we go. At the CW. And speaking of yet another obscure and shitty thing that is going on, Tom Hanks is going to star in a live action version of a very obscure 60s Mattel toy, Major Matt Mason, for Paramount Pictures. Why? Who knows? Excuse me. But it's got Akiva, the worst writer in Hollywood, Goldman, is writing the script based on a story from Michael, the second worst writer in Hollywood, Chabon. And yeah, that's what's happening. Man, I remember when Tom Hanks actually used to do good movies. You know, and now, I mean, I looked forward to when Tom Hanks was in a movie. I was like, I'm going to go and see that because Tom Hanks is in it. Now I'm like, Tom Hanks, no, I'm not going to go and see that. It looks like crap. Yeah. Or I'll catch it on cable where they cut it all up and it actually looks a lot better when it's cut up with commercials. Life is like a box of chocolates, Jenny. 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 Yeah. What else do I have? There are too many writers, too many books, too many stories out there to remake anything. Exactly, Jar. I want to see Johnny Depp in the movie sequel. No. Good writing requires thought, Dennis. Hollywood can't do that without Coke. Coke does not lead to thinking, Joe. It just leads to panicky actions. That's all I'm going to say. Panicky actions, yes. Except Invader Zim or Angry Beavers. I'd like to see more episodes. Huh. Yeah, I haven't seen the new Invader Zim movie. I'm not one of the people that was a fan of Invader Zim. It was too old for me. I was too old for it, I should say, when it came out. So I haven't watched it. Yeah, we did have something good with Counterpart until Stars canceled it because it had too many viewers, too many male viewers. Jesus, that's all I can say on that. Oh my God, I keep saying that a lot. Okay. Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington both need new agents. Supposedly Denzel Washington. So yeah, I read this rumor of a story, and quite honestly, I'm gonna call bullshit on it right now. Supposedly, Marvel is looking at, redoing the mutants, recasting Professor Xavier and Magneto as persons of color, is what they said. Now, this comes out of two of the most clickbaity sites that I've ever seen, and every time I see, something that's a title like that, I go, "Who in the fuck is this from?" And I look at it, and I'm like, "Oh, it's from Heroic Hollywood, or it's from We've Got This Covered." Either one of those two, I stay away from because it's 99.9% out of the time it's full of shit. And we're going to say that's full of shit as well. So the other rumor that they had was Denzel Washington is supposedly in the running for Magneto as the person of color in that one. Yeah. Have you seen Final Space? I have not. No. I'm gonna have to rethink this online association here. I'm sorry, Ejar. I got too much stuff to watch, and I haven't gone back. There's too much Zim to go back over history-wise. So I'm too far along now where I can't get into it. You know, I don't want Denzel Washington as the new Superman either. I really don't. Yeah. If Tom Hanks was Thanos, that would have been the nicest Thanos ever. No fingers. I just remember when Tom Hanks used to do comedy. You know, that was when he was actually good, when he used to do comedy and he would do the occasional drama here and there. But now he just does all these weird kind of drama-esque things and doesn't do any comedy whatsoever. I haven't seen him do any comedy. I'm talking about like bachelor party comedy, Money Pit, and that kind of stuff. Money Pit is still one of my favorite movies that he does. He has done, I should say. That is one of my favorite Tom Hanks movies. Thoughts on Rick and Morty season 4? No, I'm not going to even touch that because Rick and Morty fans are fucking rabid. And if I say one thing that doesn't match whatever their version of it is, I will have, a bajillion Rick and Morty fans in here that tell me that I'm wrong, that I just don't get it, that I don't understand it or something like that. So nope, I don't touch Rick and Morty at all. Not with a 10-meter cattle prod. Sorry. I watch the show. I just don't like the fans. Yeah. I'm one of the fans too, but I don't really like myself all that much. So laughing my ass off. I wish we could enjoy the show without the shit. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. I wish we could too, but the thing is that the fans are so fucking rabid at this point that you mentioned one little thing about it and you're wrong, and it snowballs out into this one thing that doesn't need to happen. Yeah. I agree with you, Cordell. Yeah, there's already heroes out there. There's no need to regender, re-ethnicize any kind of other heroes. Quite honestly, there's no reason for it. You can create new characters. Sure, go for it. Yeah. What else have we got here? Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So supposedly there were 2 Muppet shows in production at Disney Plus. One was an unscripted version. It's supposed to be like, following the Muppets around with a live like a reality TV show, which sounds kind of funny and also kind of terrifying at the same time. That one's still moving forward at Disney Plus. But then there was another one with Josh Gad called Muppets Live Another Day, which is supposed to take place right after the Muppets Caper movie. And that one's been canceled before Disney Plus even started. Yeah. And thank God, quite honestly, because, or whatever deity or deities were involved with that one, because I'm not a big fan of Josh Gad. I'm really not. And the more I keep seeing of him, the less I want to see of him. Does that make sense? I like the new Muppet Show they canceled on ABC. I didn't. I wanted to, but there was something weird and off about it. They need to bring Jason Segel back. They really need to bring Jason Segel back. He was the reason why that last Muppet movie did as well as it did. Because he actually got it. He's really freaky into puppets and Muppets and stuff like that. He actually has them all over his house. And I would like to see him come back and do it. He's actually I would say the spiritual successor to the Muppets, to Jim Henson on that. And yes, Animal is my spirit animal. He really is. We just sit there, yeah. See you, Mr. Roboto. Beat drum, beat drum, beat drums. Yeah. So I'm honestly delighted that Josh Gad's Muppets show got canceled before it even started. We didn't need it. So, Iko Weiss or Uis, I can never pronounce his name. the guy from The Raid, who was also the lead in The Wu Assassins. He is in talks to play Snake Eye's master, Hard Master. That's the name of the guy. His name is Hard Master, because he's always hard. In the new G.I. Joe spin-off Snake Eyes movie. Why? It's already been said, if it's a non-speaking role, I'm all for it. If it's a speaking role, no, he does not. He shouldn't get to speak ever again. I like him as a action movie star, fighting and all that kind of stuff. His acting really sucks, though. Really sucks, to the point where he should never be allowed to speak again in a movie until he learns how to act. That's all I can say. Yeah, Hasbro, Mattel, and who else? I think it's just Hasbro and Mattel are intent on pumping out as much. Parker Brothers. That's the other one. They are intent on pumping out movies based on their toys. They really are. I think there's another Transformer movies in the works, of course. I think there was a movie at one point based on the old game Mousetrap, the really shitty game Mousetrap. And, because that went so well for the movie that was based on Battleship with Rihanna in it. I don't remember that one. That was a bad movie. Yeah, Battleship was so goddamn awful. Yeah. G.I. Joe could be good. I mean, it's got a good, there's so many different ways to go with it, and they never do it well. Cordell, was it? There are ways of making it work, Cordell. The thing is, don't make it a fucking comedy. Don't bring Marlon Wayans into it. That was one of the worst things about it, was Marlon Wayans. But then again, Marlon Wayans is the worst thing of any movie that he's in. Alien sank my battleship. You sunk my battleship. Oh, that reminds me. I came up with an idea that I just started laughing about for some strange reason. I think it was because I was driving around here in my place that I live here, in my town that I live in. And I was thinking, well, the X-Men, the Fantastic Four and all that stuff, they all have privileged lives, I guess you could say. They have money and they come from money. And so they have kind of a refined sensibility, if you will. What if these heroes did not have money? If they, how should we say this? They're kind of like white trash in a way. What would you, how would you portray them at that point? And could you do it? And would they still be heroes at that point? And yeah, no, not Blank Man. I'm not talking about doing urban. I mean, we've already done the urban thing to death. They've done that. I'm talking about, yeah, they're not bringing back RZA as the blind master. No, they're not. Mystery Men was different, Ejar. That was like everyone wanting to be a superhero. Well, I'm talking people with actual powers, because those guys didn't have any powers. Except for Baby Bowler. Baby Bowler did have. No, I know. White trash in America? No. That could never happen. It was just a weird thought. And who knows? Maybe it might be a story idea in the future at some point in time. Who knows at this point? But it was just one of those weird thoughts that flashed through my head as I was driving home. I don't even know if I call Lovable Losers tell you, Ejar. I was, yeah. Anyway, like I said, fleeting thought. So October 16th, Limetown premieres on yet another streaming service, Facebook Watch. And this one stars Jessica Biel. And Jessica Biel is someone who is researching how a town of like, excuse me, I think 300, 500 people, something like that, just disappeared overnight. No trace. And so she's trying to find out what's going on. And it kind of looks a lot like Project Blue Book in a way, only set now. The trailer is up. I have it on my Facebook page. It might actually be something that I cover because it looked so good, quite honestly, that it's something that I'm more than likely I'm leaning towards covering it at this point. I really am. No social networks for you. That's okay, Stanley. I'm sure it'll find its way out into the world somehow. But yeah, it's supposed to be free from what I understand. I think it's supposed to be free anyway. As long as I guess you're signed up for Facebook or something like that. But it looks good. It looks really damn good. So I'm going to cover it. Carrier Pigeon? Might be. Did you watch Jessica and the Sinner? I didn't, Pen. I thought about it and I didn't get around to it. Yeah. I heard it was good. I don't know. I know she's producing a lot of these herself. That's what's happening. That's why she's getting these roles, is because she's producing them and then she's starring in them. Which good for her, man. I mean, yeah, a lot of actresses, have problems finding work, and I'm actually all for it, to tell you the truth. If she's one of those ones that she can act, she's very, very smart. I know that as well, and I look forward to see her doing more stuff. The Sinner was based on a German book. Oh, nice. Yeah, season 2 she produced. I heard that season 2 was pretty bad, but I heard season 1 was really good. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much all I've got for the news. Is that right? Yeah, I think it is. It is all I've got for the news. So everyone's gonna run out and see Waragami, right? When it comes on CW on September 15th. Tomorrow. Oh my god, tomorrow Waragami premieres on CW. That's what I should cover. No, I'm not. I'm not going to give any ideas about that one. Yeah. So anyone want to, have me review a story about a guy that fights with paper? And by the way, he's not fighting with paper. He's using paper to fight other people with, is what he's using it. That's why it's called Waragami. War with a W. WAR. Waragami. I will not start with CW again, even for you, Dennis. I don't blame you, Stanley. CW has some really shitty programming. I still can't believe they actually have that going on. Who knows? That might be, it's worth my time. I saw a Nancy Drew trailer. It looks like a Riverdale sequel. That's what it's supposed to be, Agent Future. It's supposed to be in that whole Riverdale, Dawson. So they've really not changed their programming tone since Dawson's Creek, way back in the day. And everything kind of follows that same Dawson's Creek pattern. That's why the CW has that certain feel to it. Sabrina kind of broke the mold, Stanley. It started off that whole Dawson's Creek shit, but then it changed. I am not going to review Glow, Joe. I just talked about it here. I'm going to finish it up because, damn, it's a good show. It's a really good show. And it's funny too. I mean, it's just wrong and funny. And it's got nudity to it too. It's got some boobies in it. I'm okay with that. Stanley Tweedle says, don't cover it. It's good. I'm not covering it, Stanley. Don't worry. I'm not covering it. I don't want it to get canceled either. It's on Netflix and it's already done season 3, which means it's probably already past its prime and will probably be canceled anyway on its own. So I think it should be safe from me. Possibly. I don't know. Now you guys are going to blame me if it doesn't get a season 4. Boobies. Yeah, there we go. And there's a new ringtone for Movie Fanobi right there. Ejar says script and show titles on post-it notes so that they can be environmentally correct and recycle their programming. Season 3 is still good of Glow. Good. That's good to know. Yeah. Like I said, I'll probably burn right through it. I know you guys blame me for everything. I have no power whatsoever. There is no reason why any of this shit should be canceled. Swamp Thing is still a mystery to me as to why it got canceled. It's a mystery to everyone involved why it got canceled. Mark Verheiden, who was one of the showrunners of it, he still is lamenting about it on Twitter. He just did like 2 days ago. He just took another swipe at DC Universe, and I was like, damn, man. He didn't even do that for Ash versus Evil Dead. Ash versus Evil Dead, when he got kicked off after season 2, he's like, nope, done, out. This one, it's been what now, like 4 months, and he is still just kind of just going, yeah, fuck those guys. Why did they cancel it? And I agree with him. I really do. See, that's another guy, man, who's severely underrated. He's worked on a lot of stuff. I mean, he worked on the Daredevil, first season of Daredevil on Netflix. Ash versus Evil Dead, their first 2 seasons. Swamp Thing. He's been on a lot of different shows that were really, really good, and yet no one takes him on to do bigger things. That's a guy who I would like to see. Quite honestly, I'd like to see him do a Marvel movie. I think he could do it. But who do I know? What do I know? No one listens to me on any of these things. There's a bigger conspiracy behind Swamp Thing's cancellation. Yeah, there is. I'm pretty sure it has to do with misappropriation of funds, Ejar. I'm fairly sure it's the reason why, but Stanley Tweedle, that's subsidies error was so stupid. I hope that the guy responsible got fired. Yeah. I'm not drinking coffee, Joe. I do not drink coffee. Yeah. Next up on Spinoffs, Blow. I don't know what that is. Damn right, I'll blame you if it gets canceled. Thanks, Joe. Glad to have that confidence in people. Ejar says, follow the money, speedboats, condos in Florida, Cayman Islands. Yeah. I know. So if you like what you see here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Also, you're going to see up in this area at the very end here, there's going to be a video that pops up here. Basically, what YouTube uses is called algorithms, and all the stuff you've been watching, it's going to use those algorithms to pluck a video out of my vast video library that matches all the stuff you've been watching on the types of stuff you've been watching, and it'll pluck a video and pop it up right there for you. Up here is going to be Titans from last night. Titans will be up there. I also have my schedule up on suspendedfanimation.com. You can see the schedule changes every week. What do we got going on? Tomorrow is going to be Preacher. Monday, I'm off. Tuesday is going to be Is It Worth My Time? The Hellboy 2019 movie edition. Wednesday, I'm off. Thursday is another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And I don't know what I'm going to be doing on that one yet. I'm thinking about it. I keep thinking about it. And I was going to do that really crappy Katie Sackhoff show on Netflix. And I'm like, no, everyone already knows how crappy that one is. So I'm not going to do that. But I'll think about what I'll do for the other one. Friday is going to be Titans season 2. And of course, we come back around again with Saturday Morning Blast Off as usual. Dennis said the magic word algorithm. Really? That was today's magic word, was algorithm? I don't know what you're algorithmic about. Yeah. Yeah, Titans was pretty good last night, I have to admit. But again, that was the reason the first episode of the season was supposed to be the last episode of season 1, which was a shit season. And last night's episode was the first true episode of season 2. So, yeah. Go figure. That show is not doing anything easy. It really isn't. And it's Akiva Goldsman's fault. It really is. He's the showrunner for that one. He sucks. Shake your booty to the algorithm. Yeah. Do a Popeye's chicken sandwich review, Dennis. There's no more Popeye chicken sandwiches, Joe. So I can't. I don't like to paint with a broad brush, but Sackhoff show sucks. Yes, it does. Any word yet on when Doom Patrol returns? I don't know, Pen. We know it's next year. The Harley Quinn animated series shows up in mid-October. Stargirl is supposed to come in after that, from what I understand. That's a live-action version of Stargirl, so probably after Stargirl. Most likely in February, somewhere around there. Yeah, I believe it might be February. Who knows? Yeah. Now that we don't have Swamp Thing. Yeah. I don't know what they're going to do. I know they have to be working on another show because they need something to fill in that gap now. No, the safe word is mango. The safe word is mango. Mango. No more sandwiches. So sad. No, what sandwich? Oh, for the chicken sandwiches. Yeah. Yeah, I heard about the Popeyes Bring Your Own Bun controversy. That was a stupid campaign. They actually sent that to me in my so somehow or another I got on their mailing app, in for emails, and they sent me that, and I just kind of looked at it and I'm like, really? Really? You guys are doing that? And I didn't think anything of it until after, I was just like, yeah, whatever. And then I saw the whole controversy kind of blow up on Twitter. And I started laughing. But Jack in the Box has a new chicken sandwich all day. Yeah. So does McDonald's. I'm sorry, but that fucking chicken sandwich was good. That's all I'm going to say. The Chick-fil-A sandwich is ass. It's too expensive. It's like $5 for kind of a mediocre chicken sandwich. That's all, I know everyone's going, oh, you need to put sauces on it. And no, that's what I go through the drive-through was for them to make the chicken sandwich so it tastes good. That's all. I usually have a little dog in the car with me. I'm not going inside. Why do you eat that stuff? Because it tastes good, Stanley. Even Ruby Tuesday put out ads saying we have a chicken sandwich too. God. Yeah, everyone and their mother is trying to get on board this. I love how Wendy's tried to, jump in on it early on. They're like, "Well, we got a chicken sandwich too." It's like, yeah, just could have been, man. Sorry, Pepper's doing a little fly hunting at the moment. She was running around the room looking for a fly. Oh man. All right. I want to let you guys go for the day. Thank you for joining me, all of you guys out in there in the chat. Americans and their fast food. Haven't been to a McD or a BK in years. Yeah, Stanley, when you have what I'm currently sitting in, I'm looking at 101-degree temperature right now with air conditioning in one, not in the kitchen area. I'm not turning on the fucking stove. So, not happening. So, sometimes you got to go out and eat and not have to, convenience is the drive through. Exactly. So, that's what happens when you don't want to turn on the damn oven for fear of, passing out in a pool of your own sweat. I don't do fast food, but I did try the Incredible Whopper as well. The Impossible Whopper. Yes, the Impossible Whopper Penn Farm Grill. Yes. Um, there is a better version that was close by to me, like a mom and pop burger place that also does the Impossible Burger. And I had the Impossible Burger from them, and it was a better burger than the Burger King one. Yeah. And don't eat the Beyond one. The Beyond one just tastes like ass. Oh. And from what I understand, those are not good for you either because of all the chemicals that are involved in them. You're safer off just eating the regular meat as it is. Yeah, EJAR, just skip them both. There used to be, so going off topic here, going off the genre stuff, there used to be back in the day a mix called Nature's Burger, where it was a meatless burger that came in a box, and you just added water. You formed patties, and they're made out of grains, mushrooms, a couple other things as well. And it was actually a decent burger, decent veggie burger, I guess you could say. And that one I actually used to get quite a bit, but then they canceled it at one point in time, or they discontinued it, something like that, and never to be seen again. That was actually a better option than what these Impossible Burgers, Beyond Burgers, all that kind of stuff is. So, yeah. There was only one other place near me, and it was $15, so I was okay with the Burger King. Yeah. Any other place, the Impossible Burgers are impossibly expensive. Yeah. And the Beyond Burgers taste beyond bad. Mm-hmm. That was McDonald's that used to serve kangaroo meat, EJAR. Back in the day. That was back in the 70s that they used to serve kangaroo meat. Pineapple is in it. Really? Morningstar Farms Better in Burgers. Huh? Wow. Now, after the great chicken and burger debate, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you, everybody, who joined me in the chat. Thank you if you made it this far in the video. And like I said before, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Take a look at suspendifanimation.com for the schedule. If you're still on the fence about joining up, take a look at the video up here. If you like what you see there, hit the subscribe button there. And after that, I will see you tomorrow for Preacher. Thank you, everybody. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may be accused of selling kangaroo meat to Jack in the Box, and nobody wants that. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.